Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the Sugarlands Distilling Company 125 from Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. I am your host, Al Nixon, with Rob Melnick working the cameras behind the scenes. Guys, looks like we got ourselves about 15 cars scheduled to take this green flag here tonight as we're halfway through qualifying. This race should prove to be totally exciting as we're back on dirt for only the second time in over 30 years. If that's right, if you can believe that. Now this is going to be even more exciting because, well, these cars have never raced on dirt before, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this one plays out. The weather here in Bristol, Tennessee for us tonight is going to be some 76 degrees with 71-degree track temperatures. The wind's going to be coming out of the southeast, and partly cloudy skies. As this race gets ready to start, we will actually see ourselves watching the sun go down, and we will set for 3 stages. The first stage at 25, second stage at 50, and the third stage will be that remaining laps on that with 5 tire sets. So, with all that said, I think I'm going to give my brain a rest, and we're going to wrap up qualifying, and we'll get ready for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
The nighttime is the right time. Remember what I told all my drivers? Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
And welcome back, race fans, as we get ready for our race event. Let's go down the starting line. On that pole position, we'll have that 62 car of Chris Severa with Brooks Durding on the outside. Next row will be Justin Levine and Al Keselowski. The next row features Gary Adamson and Frank Flores, followed by Eric Kling and Kenny Powell. Your next position is going to be Robert Pattingale with Greg Wachinski, and that also is going to be those top 10, the only drivers selected to actually qualify, with Kyle Green and Ryan Strunk. Bringing up row 11, John Mullins and Paul Osen bringing out your 14th with Kenny Thompson rounding out our 15 car field. This is going to be an exciting race. Can't wait to actually see when this thing gets going just how it's going to pan out. I know race fans from all over love Saturday night dirt track racing. It's something that NASCAR had kind of dabbled in back in the 70s, but it really kind of stepped away from. But now, looks like it's going to be something that's going to probably remain on the schedule. The fun fact about this racetrack is that, unlike a lot of the dirt tracks that we do have, this racetrack is actually different in shape, with turns 1 and 2 being more narrow than turns 3 and 4. So although you might be able to sling it around one way, it's actually going to affect you a little bit different going around the other way. So drivers are going to just actually have to feel their way through this thing and hopefully get this track under control. Not sure how Thursday night's race played out, but hopefully tonight's race will actually find us being able to get a lot of green to flag races in. Now, if you look at these cars as they're getting ready to start around, I guarantee you, as we get through the end of the stages, that they will not look like they look right now, because one thing that's going to happen on this good old Saturday night dirt track racing is it's going to be some bumping and banging. You can best believe that. Drivers actually having to kind of point and shoot to figure out where they want the car to go versus normally just being able to turn and get it there. These cars kind of going to slide around a little bit. So it's going to be awesome to watch for the spectators. It's going to be a little bit of a handful for yours truly, the commentator, but hopefully Rob will have his hands just as full as I do, and we will get you as much of the exciting angles from this race as we possibly can. The lights are off on the pace car, which is indicating that we are one to go before we get ready to go green flag racing here at the dirt track at Motor Food City in Bristol, Tennessee. Chris Rivera, we're going to wait and see what he's going to do, because, you know, the good thing for him being the leader, he gets to decide, probably going to start off in third gear, maybe second gear. I don't know how his car's set up. He kind of gets to decide what the pace goes. He can waste no time taking the green flag, and we're off as Rivera is going to sling that 62 Inferno Ford around and get ready as we are going green flag racing. Ron Struck now coming up behind him, trying to get his car turned around in the direction that it might need to go, so he can actually hunt him down as the field begins to stack up to the rear. Everybody seeming to find their own way, and no one in distress as of yet, as we watch that 36 car of Mr. Adamson a little bit out of sorts. So the fun thing about this is we're going to see some three-wide racing, maybe some four-wide racing, and just a whole lot of contact as we now have Mr. Kling actually starting to put his car on the move, and he's going to be trying to whip himself around there with that 95 car and get on down the road there a little bit as well. Race getting underway nicely as the drivers are starting to slowly space themselves out, so that way they'll actually be able to use the majority of this racetrack. You'll see some drivers like to kind of get in and kind of swing it around. It's actually challenging to pass on the inside, but this racetrack right now looking very, very good, nice and clean as we see cars sliding each and everywhere. There's a 22 car, Mr. Thompson. Kenny Thompson having himself a pretty stellar season so far. He's a newcomer to our series, but definitely been doing pretty good. Got one car seems to be off the pace a little bit. I do believe that was a 43 car, Paul Osen. Now he's going to find himself a lap down. Probably going to hope that everything stays green like it does, and I really don't see any reason why it won't, as drivers are now just slowly starting to get around. Now, what you're going to find is, as the race wears on and we start to look at the track, where now up on the top where you got that kind of loose dry dirt in the turns, that's going to get darker and darker. Now what that is that's that rubber being laid down. And as it forms itself, it'll become like a sheet of asphalt. And you'll see these guys actually trying to get the car to hook up and just slide it around. It actually gets more fun as it goes on, but also can be a little bit of a handful, if you will, as Chris Severa now slowly making his way through the field as he's going to go ahead and pass that 64 car of Jay Mullins. Going to add him to a list of cars today. And now Mullins would definitely be that car who would get the lucky dog in the event of an unscheduled caution. But we are literally 10 laps into this thing, and it's looking like it's going to go green for a while. Don't see why it will be any indication of anything other than that. If we're just looking at that 17 car, Mr. Pattengill, as he likes to slide it out wide. You look at that 17 car also. Looks like he's already had a little bit of contact, so that car has just shown itself to be a little bit worse for wears, but that's okay though. I'm sure there's another car out there and a wall with a little bit of his paint to show for it as well. Mr. Adamson having a hard time there, coming off of the wall there a little bit. As our leader continues to make his way through there, he is cutting through this field like hot butter, as now he has even got his sights set to put that 33 car Justin Levine, looks like he is going to actually kind of take up the issue with Pat Severa for that second spot. Brooks Dirting being our leader, and he's actually out and gone as well. As we're continuing to roll along, 15 laps gone. Looks like we got just 10 laps left in this stage. 8 laps before that pit road is going to close, and everything right now just seeming to go pretty well. If we can ride along with our leader there, Brooks Dirting, kind of get an idea how he's making his way through the field. Yes, that's what it just riding along with Brooks and Dirting. Looks like we got Al Kozlowski is going to have his car kind of bottled up, and that's going to bring out the first caution that we've had here for the evening. Let's take a ride back and see what happened to that old 88 Speedway Angels Chevrolet. Looks like he's going well right here. Everything seems to be fine. Let's watch for the rotation. And looks like right there, it's just a little bit of contact, and that's all it takes. So the big thing is with these cars is you really can't just smash the brakes and expect the car to turn. You kind of use the brakes to set it a little bit, but generally you're just kind of going to be along for the ride. So speaking along for the ride, it'll be interesting to see if we have any early takers to pit road as this thing continues to go. Kenny Powell is going to be the recipient of that lucky dog, as he will be passing the field to the outside. While we're under caution, let's go ahead and take a pause for the calls and get a little bit of word from our sponsors here.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing SoundArt, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
I'm alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With sound art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Your art never sounded so good.
All right, welcome back, race fan. It looks like we are still under caution, which is gonna bring out a little bit of a situation there with our stage cautions. Well, maybe the lights are out now on the pace car, so that means signaling 1 to go, which means we will have a 1 lap before we actually 2 laps before we actually do throw that stage 1 caution. With that, let's take a quick run through our field here and see where everyone is at. Looks like our leader's going to be that 31 car, Brooks Dirting, followed closely by Chris Severa in second place. Joshua Levine, Levine is going to be in third place with Eric Kling, fourth. Ryan Strunk in fifth. Kenny Powell, sixth. Kenny Thompson, 7th. Kyle Green, 8th. Gary Adamson, 9th. Frank Flores, 10th. Al Kaslowski, 11th. Robert Pattengale is going to be bringing up 12th. Greg Wachinski in 13th place. John Mullins in 14th. And Paul Osen, some 7 laps down in 15th. Pace truck is down, and Severa gets ready. Ooh, that's going to be interesting to see what happens. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Sorry. Brooks Dirting elected to line up on the outside. Severa now going to be charging on the inside. I kind of confused myself with a little bit. Dirting now getting that thing going around. He is definitely the car to chase here today because he's handling that thing all around. If you watch the difference between the way these first 3 cars are kind of throwing it down versus some of the others, is you kind of got to be a little bit aggressive with this thing in order to get it to snap back to where you need it, and then the rest of it's just going to be throttle control. So Eric Kling right now looks like he's going to be fighting off of Ryan Strunk. Strunk now going to be able to make that move to the inside as they're going to be side by side across the line going into turn 1. Trunk's still going to be there on the inside, not letting that position go around. Oh, definitely Clean gets a little bit too wide, probably smacked the butt end of that car off the wall. And that's going to bring out yet that's the end of the stage. That puts stage 1 in the books. Brooks Dirting going to be that stage 1 winner with Chris Severa in second. Justin Levine in third. Eric Kling fourth. Ryan Strunk fifth. Kenny Thompson sixth. Kenny Powell 7th. Gary Adamson a lap down in the 8th. Al Kaslowski another lap down in 9th. And Kyle Green wrapping out those top 10 points paying positions. Once again, since we're going to be at our stage break, let's go ahead and step away again and get a word from our sponsor.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing it.
welcome back, race fans, as the lights are on the pace car, and stage one is officially in the books. So we are getting ready to go a boogity racing again here at stage two at the Bristol Motor Speedway. That's right. If you're looking at it and you're saying, that ain't Bristol, that's dirt. Well, that's right. They put dirt on Bristol. Who would have ever thunk it? But yep, that is what has occurred, and we have a one stage complete in the Sugarland Distillers Company 125. Brooks Dirting now going to go ahead and take that field back, and we are green flag racing. Chris Rivera now going to get lined up behind Dirting as he's going to go ahead and try to direct that 62 gas to go forward just to get it where it needs to go. This is awesome racing all the way through the top 5 positions. As you can see, these guys are definitely letting it all hang out. Dirting, though, so far, be in the car to be, as he has led mostly all of the laps so far in this event. Chris Rivera, though, probably not wanting to let him get too far away. Definitely seems to have that 62 car. Caution is out. Caution flies on the speedway for the 3rd time this evening. I'm going to try to get a look and see what actually occurred there to bring out the caution. Looks like the caution is going to be a result of that 77 car making a little bit of contact with the wall. Though it doesn't seem like much. It doesn't really take much to kind of get us one going here. But that's all right, though. It gives us just a chance to kind of ride around, and yep, that's exactly what happened. He making incidental contact with that racing surface right there. Going to bring the caution out. Now, the good thing is everybody's already got tires. And tire wear really shouldn't be an issue too much going through these first 2 stages. But it would be definitely interesting to see how that's going to affect these drivers once we get into that 3rd and final stage. Because by then, the sun will be gone down. The track will be completely different as it is now. And I believe it should even start to have characteristics of even more of a little bit of a more asphalt, if you can actually believe that. Because as these guys continuously make their runs around, that track is going to get nice and seasoned. And it's going to provide a better racing surface for some and a bit of treachery for others. Hope everybody's having an awesome Saturday night, though. I know that we are excited as this racing season just continues to lumber on. We've seen a whole lot of great races. None of them to this point have disappointed. And next week, it looks like I think we're headed to Talladega, if I believe that to be the case. And once again, yet another type of racing that will not disappoint. You know, we had a short track racing back to back going from Martinsville to Richmond. Now we find ourselves on the East Coast yet again doing the dirt track racing here at Bristol, and then we're going to slide on over just a little bit into the south and head on over there to Talladega next week. It's going to be an opportunity for a little bit of everybody to actually kind of shine. I know a lot of drivers might not fancy dirt track racing as much as they say oval racing, but there's some dirt track racers in here. You definitely can rest assured of that, especially the way these guys are handling these cars. Thoroughly impressed at how well it's been going thus far as we are continue to go around here behind the pace car and the Sugarlands Distilling Company 125. Thanks everybody again for joining us. Remember, if you like what you see in here, please like and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. That's right, the ISCA, the iRacing Stock Car Association, offers a little bit of something for everybody, having 2 full feature races every week, one being on Thursday and this being that Saturday event race. So if you can't catch us on Thursday, maybe catch us on Saturday. But anyway, it's always going to be some awesome racing. Lights out on the pace car, and it looks like Mr. Dirting is going to get ready to take us Green flag racing once again. We are underway. It's time to slip, slide, and boogie. Brooks starting now, getting hooked up and ready to go. 3 wide and struck that 77 car. Still going to be sliding up a little bit, but I think he's actually able to get it under control. Probably lost a couple of spaces, but that's okay, though. He's still able to battle back on and live to fight another day. A lot of racing action going on towards the back of this pack, even though a lot of these guys find themselves laps down as they do figure the track out. They'll get more comfortable with it, and their lap times will even improve. You know, no one's out of this thing yet. Still plenty of racing left to come to you guys as we're now watching Chris Severa now skate around with Mr. Justin Levine just going to now make that move to the inside, and now he's going to capture second place. Severa looking like he's actually made a couple of bad decisions on the right side of that 62 car. That Inferno Ford might a little bit worse for wear there. But you could actually see the different line that 33 and that 62 is taking. But yet, both of them equally fast around this thing as now Mr. Levine is going to see if he can't close that gap on our leader, Brooks Durning. Durning definitely just continuing his run, though. He's not going to be looking back. He's just going to be focusing on going forward as looks like Levine's even going to stretch his lead out a little bit on that 62 car. What I love about dirt racing, though, is like every lap's totally different. And with, as the 33 car is going to find himself pancaking the wall, that's not going to be good for him at all. He's going to have to figure that out. That's going to allow Severa to close the distance on him and be able to get just a little bit closer as Severa himself finds a little bit of that sweet wall music also coming around that turn. But that's the thing about this track. It's got two completely different turns between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You know, 3 and 4, you're going to find them, they're going to be just way more out there to the outside, where 1 and 2 is going to be a lot tighter. As we let's go back and look at there where that battle where Kenny Powell is going to be with him and Al Koslowski. And Kenny Thompson were actually battling pretty good there for a while. We look to see one of the closest battles that we had, but for whatever reason, looks like Mr. Thompson's actually has been able to move away a little bit. Not sure what happened to Powell, but he's still going to be struggling to get it around. As here comes that 19 car, going to go ahead and make a position around him. That's Kyle Green. He is actually a lap down as well. Green flag racing continues here as we are now getting ready to find ourselves coming to the end of stage number 2. We are definitely now going to be within that 2 to go window for the ending of stage number 2, which means pit road should be closed. Brooks Durning still our leader. Leading this way around is that 64 car. Looks like he was actually able to chomp on that wall a little bit. I don't think that Ford's gonna digest that too well, but definitely got into there. As we're riding along now, watching our leader go ahead and make a couple more laps around this thing. Actually see if he can go ahead and put a couple more notches in his belt. The funny thing, though, what we've seen here mostly through this season is we've had a lot of hat tricks as stage number 2 now comes to an end. Brooks Durning going to be our repeat winner of stage 1 and 2. That's going to put Justin Levine, our second place finisher, with Chris Severa in 3rd. Ryan Strunk's going to be in 4th. Eric Queen 5th. Kenny Thompson 6th. Al Koslowski is going to be in 7th with Kenny Powell in 8th. Gary Adamson's going to be in 9th with Kyle Green rounding out our top 10 points paying positions. With that, let's step away and take a word from our sponsor.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Your art never sounded so good.
All right, welcome back, race fans. The lights are out on the pace car, which signifies that once again we are getting ready to go a green flag racing. 2 stages in the books, a couple cars getting the wave around. Once that happens, we will be getting this thing kicked back around. So far, we got 11 of the 15 cars that started this thing still on the lead lap. Frank Flores in 12th place on 1 lap down. Paul Osen in 13th with 7 laps down. Well, we got 2 drivers respectively out of the race. Green flag racing continues now. So our leader Brooks Durden kicks this thing off. Severa's going to be on the inside of him with Eric Kling just to the inside of him. Ryan Strunk also trying to make his way seen now up into the top 5 as he is now shown in 4th place with Al Keselowski now dominating that 5th place position. There's Mr. Robert Pattingill sliding around there. I'm sorry, Justin Levine now showing himself to the outside of Ryan Strunk as these two here can battle for 3rd position. Levine now actually going to go ahead and get that 3rd position sewed up. Going to go ahead and put himself in the hunt now to try to chase and track down that 62 Inferno Ford of Chris Severa. Brooks Durden, for those of you just joining us, is pretty much just putting on a clinic here of how to dirt track race, and he has pretty much led the majority of this contest up to date. Chris Severa, though, I know if anybody wants to do something about that, he's going to be trying to definitely make sure he can get his car back out front, because that's where you're going to want to be. Everybody wants to be in that good area. As we look and see that we got that 64 car that's getting ready to fall be a victim to falling a lap down, and nobody wants to do that. As our leaders continually close that gap on these guys and they come sliding into the frame here, hopefully the leader will be able to get by these guys without there being any kind of issue. That would be one of the things that would probably bring out a caution flag for us. Cool part about it is, if we can keep this thing green, it's like my favorite part of the road trip. You know, we are good we're good to go on fuel. Like, we're halfway right now. 62 laps to go in this thing, and we can make it all the way. So pit strategy not even being an issue. All these guys got to do right now is just keep her going. As we're just seeing how Brooks Dirting is going to do just that with Chris Rivera slowly trying to keep that distance where it's at, not letting it get any bigger. As you see, they go by Paul Olsen yet again. You know, and the thing is, Paul's putting out some good lap times, but these guys are just putting down a lot better lap times. This is definitely, it's been definitely a good show. As you look now, you'll see that track starting to get just a little bit darker as the night does as well. Chris Rivera right there going to get a little bit out of control. That's going to let that 33 car go ahead and slide by him, take that second position back, and you see this Levine's just going way high through those turns, where Rivera's kind of going low as they're going to come by that 5 car of Mr. Wachinski. These two continue to battle it out all the way around. That's one thing that's not showing any sign of letting up. Mr. Levine and Severa have been going at it like non-stop, as Levine now going to take a little bit more of that wall than he wanted, which is going to allow Severa to kind of come right back on the inside as they go by Mr. Pattingill and Mr. Wachinski. Now they're going to come back battling right across that backstretch. Just awesome dirt track racing. That's what you got right there. Dirt track racing being some of the true grassroots of just good old American racing all together. It's kind of, you know, that dirt track is going to be pumping right there on Saturday night. That's what happens. Yeah, Friday night we go to the grass strip. Saturday night's the dirt track. It's now these two guys continually just battling each other relentlessly. Levine now trying to close that gap on Severa just a little bit as they're going to go rolling by that 19 car, Kyle Green. Ooh, that's just going to cause Chris Severa to lose it and actually go down the pit road. So now this is going to be interesting, because as Severa loses it and goes on pit road, he hits that cone. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how that's scored, because if he is scored for an improper pit lane entrance, that could cost him a black flag. So we'll see what happens as the caution flags. As the caution flag waves just one more time. First time there, Ian stage 3. Just good racing so far, though. While we are on the caution, let's go ahead and step away and get yet another word from our sponsor.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
And we are back. Caution flag have flown with just 49 to go. Last caution result of that 62 Racing Inferno Ford of Chris Severa got a little bit discombobulated, if you will, found himself smacking those barrels there at the entrance of pit road. Now that's going to allow Brooks Dirting and Justin Levine just to be up there a little bit closer, and Severa to find himself just a little bit further back. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see if Severa will incur a pit road penalty for the entrance, but if not, that's really going to work out for him. A lot of drivers taking advantage of this late race caution to get damage repaired, or maybe some even taking tires as fuel. Definitely not an issue here for anybody tonight. But man, it has been an exciting race so far. For those of you that are joining us, I thank you very much. And once again, like I said, if you enjoy what you're seeing, you can like us and follow us and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on Twitch, ISCA, whatever it is that you got to do. Click like, do it. We need it. We love it. And we can bring you more of it. Pace car is completely down now, and Brooks Dirting once again going to get us launched off. Wasted no time to take that green flag and slide that 31 car around the corner. Ron Struck now taking his advantage to get around clean on the outside and actually go head on up now and secure that third spot. Levine rolling with Severa, not trying to lose it. He's actually going to be fighting Strunk right now, trying to get around him to get back into that fourth position, but Strunk just nosing it down and keeping it end to win, doing exactly what he needs to do to keep that 62 Ford at bay for the time being. But Severa not going to be denied, as he's going to try to hunt, and these two are now swap positions as Severa slides on in to 1 and 2. Dirting still on the road, making certain what he's doing is going to continue to be the right things going to keep him where he needs to be, which is in the leader circle for this thing. So far, we got 8 cars remaining on the lead lap, but that is probably going to change as well. Best thing so far right now, looks like that 33 car, Justin Levine, is going to be in the back window, or the back mirror there of our leader. Something that he hasn't seen much at all tonight, except for on restart. So pretty sure he's not liking that too much, but that 33 car is not going to back down. He's just going to keep sliding right around there. Now, with that pressure being applied to Dirting, is that going to affect the way that he's actually going to handle his car? Or is he just going to be as cold as the other side of the pillow? We will see, and we shall see, because, like I said, he hasn't had this much pressure on him all night long. But now Dirting going to actually get a little bit of a grip on it. He's now going to find himself putting just a little bit more of a gap there on that 33 car. Oh, and Justin Levine now is going to smack that wall one more time. That car just not going to like that too much. That's an owie, as we would say. That's that poor car, man. It's seen better days, as he now appears to be off the pace just a little bit. Going to allow Dirting just that opportunity to slip just that much further away. All drivers are just kind of getting in their groove, kind of going around this thing at their own pace and distance, if you will. So we're looking at the 43 car of Paul Olsen. Caution is out. Is that 5 car of Mr. Wojcinski? Looks like he had made contact. Is that with the 77? That looks like the 77 of Mr. Strunk kind of got off a little bit and made contact, and that ultimately caused Wojcinski to kind of, like, once again, you know, with these cars, there's really nothing you can do at that point. I mean, he was just along for the ride as he pancaked. Looks like that Wow. Leaders are now actually going to come down pit road. Interesting to see what that's about. I think that we kind of know that the 33 car definitely going to come in and get some TLC because he definitely smacked the wall a couple of times. That's going to allow our leader also to come down pit road to get himself some TLC. Not everybody, however, going to take the road down pit road in Wachinski now. Mr. Adamson. Gary Adamson is our lucky dog there. He gets the wave around, so he'll find himself getting one of his laps back. Yes, good old Saturday night, bang 'em up dirt track racing. Is yeah, what we want to do if we could, let's just roll through and let's look at all of the cars, so that way it kind of give you an idea of the amount of damage that these guys have gone through here tonight. There's Severa. Severa looked like definitely the right side of his car has been doing the majority of his battles, maybe not the left side. Just probably not going to find too many cars out there that are unscathed. That's what I'm kind of getting at. You know, at one point, everybody, if you look at the left side of the car, tells a completely different story than the right side of the car. The right side of the car has just been up there in that wall all night. And the left side's just, you know, once this thing is over, that's the side, that's the photo side. You know, that's the good side that we'll take the pictures from. 35 laps remaining here in this thing. Another caution just brought out with contact made by Mr. Adamson and a couple other cars, which is going to be fortunate for some, not so fortunate for others. But while we're sitting here in the caution, let's go ahead and take just a brief break. Give myself a break as well. And welcome back. Go race fans, lights are off on the pace car, and we are set to go green flag racing with that 62 car Chris Vera. Now taking that green flag for the first time tonight, he finds himself right up, well, not for the first time tonight up front, but now he finds himself up front and the leader as the 33 car of Brooks Durning now finds himself battling in second position with Justin Levine bringing up that third place position, making this probably one of the best battles that we've had thus far, and it couldn't come at a better time as right now with 32 laps to go in this thing, and Levine now finding himself a little bit out of the race there as he got a little bit loose, so that's going to allow, watch out, contact between Strong Levine, and that is going to bring out the caution. Sorry, that was between Durning and Levine, and that will bring out a caution. Chris Severa probably didn't want to see that caution come because, I mean, he was just getting around that lap car, and I don't know if that lap vehicle kind of became a pick or not, but ultimately that's what had happened. And now Mr. Levine's going to find himself losing quite a few spots and spaces, but he'll battle back. It's unfortunate because, you know, you're right there and you're trying to do the best you can, but you just slip sliding away. find ourselves under caution yet one more time. I believe this will be the fifth caution that we've had here tonight. A bit more than they had under the Thursday night's race, I'm sure, but yet we had a field of 15 cars. As Al Keselowski is going to get that wave around, find himself the recipient of that lucky dog pass. Chris Severa has now battled himself all the way back up to be our race leader. With Mr. Dirting tucked in right behind him, Mr. Clean tucked in right behind him. Kenny Powell now finds himself all the way up in the fourth position. Just one step off the podium. Going to be wanting to definitely make that 24 car's presence felt, as Mr. Strunk's going to be coming up behind him. So, just like I said prior to our caution and our break, we still have a lot of racing left to go. Going to look like it's going to be 26 to go when we go green again. Still anybody's race. Probably still got a potential to have a couple more cautions. But you know what? It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. That's all I can say about it, and I can't wait. Now, if you just look, you'll see that track is starting to get a lot darker. Some pretty sad-looking cars go parading by. Definitely, yeah, that's a lot of money tore up right there, folks. That's what that is. All right, lights are off on the pace car. We are side by side. Our leader, race leader, Chris Bear, elected to take that high side, which is going to be awesome. And now it's be interesting to see just how much room Mr. Dirting gives him, or Severa is going to launch off of the pace car and try to get going. The key thing is right now is just kind of try to keep that thing straight and not get it sideways. As Severa gets almost a perfect launch. Comes on into turn one as our race leader, Kenny Powell, being battled by Ryan Strong and Eric Kling in front as Levine goes by on the inside. Levine gonna probably want to show a little bit of patience, or as much as he wants. Now he goes by Eric Kling on the inside as he's now got his sights set on the likes of Ryan Strunk. If he can get by Ryan Strunk, which he is setting himself up to do just that. Watch out as Mr. Dirting's finding himself coming back up onto the racing surface. That's going to let Levine get down on the inside of him. We're racing side by side for second, third, and fourth. But this is what you came to see. These guys are battling at it, I mean, epically, but Severa's just loving it because he's just driving away. So, as the Dirting had kind of lost it a little bit, it allowed Levine to kind of close that door on him. Powell now finds himself slipping back a little bit. With just 22 to go. Strunk and Mr. Clean battling it out here for the third and final podium position. Strunk definitely got to be very impressed with the run he's having here tonight, because he's definitely not letting anything lay out there. He's definitely taking advantage of everything that he can, and he is wheeling that car all over the place. As Clean is definitely going to try to make sure he keeps closing the distance as we now come not just under 20 to go. 19 laps remaining in this. Sugarland Distilling Company 125. As our race marches on, Chris Severa now, the race leader, slowly trying to pull that gap out, but he finds that Brooks Durning is just rolling in behind him. Severa now coming up on his G&G teammate, Kenny Powell. Going to be looking to put Kenny Powell a lap down. And if that happens, that'll leave us with just 8 cars remaining on the lead lap. He's going to come right by Powell, slide between him and Mr. Olsen, and be good to go. Oh, just lost it a little bit. Probably not the cleanest exit that he wanted, but yeah, he bobbled it, he got it going. Still actually able to put that thing in the air, which is what he needs to do, making that distance that between him and that second place car just a little bit greater. Man, we have got ourselves some excellent racing going on here tonight. Like I said, a lot of tore-up cars, but nobody can say that this has not been some of the most exciting racing that we've seen in the Tucson Sound Art Cup on the Saturday night featured races that we've done. Well, fuck, we got another car that's going to be down there on the inside. That's that 17 car, Mr. Robert Pattengill. Looked like he might have took a little shot to the chin a little bit, got himself knocked the wind out of him. Hopefully he'll be able to continue though, but too late. Caution is going to fly. So that means the caution flies for the 6th time, minus the stage. And I believe with this caution right here, when we go back racing, it should be right with 10 to go. So with that said, let's just take another pause for the cause and get another word from our sponsors.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Your art never sounded so good.
Oh, welcome back, race fans, one and all. Wow, what an exciting race we've had here tonight at the Sugarlands Distilling Company 125. We have got 114 laps of 125 in the books. We've had 4 lead changes and 8 cautions for a grand total of 35 laps. That means we're now getting almost to, I think we will be 10 to go when this thing goes green. This is going to be nothing short of exciting. If you're not on the edge of your seats, then I don't know what race you're watching. But right now, these guys are going to let it all hang out. I can guarantee you that they're going to be swapping paint. They're going to be hitting fences. They're going to be beating and banging. It's going to be brutal. It's just going to be exciting. That's right. That's what's going to happen. Hopefully we could do all of that and still have that green flag fly. Last thing we want to see is somebody get hurt or, destroy a car too bad. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to double them up again. And we are 1 to go. Now this is where everything kind of gets a little hazy because this is for all the marbles. If you look now at just how much that track has changed. What started off was is mud kind of. It's kind of turning into mud with asphalt kind of around the corners. But Chris Rivera, though, gonna hope that he got himself what he needs as he is lined up on the outside. The pace car is off. And Chris Rivera's going to take us back to green, flag racing, wasting no time getting that loss that he needs, taking that 62 Ford Inferno through turns 1 and 2. Now, down the backstretch he comes. And just like that, one more is in the books. 9 to go, ladies and gentlemen, before we can actually call this thing a race. It's going to be a very close battle up front as Chris Rivera right now is holding off the likes of Justin Levine and Brooks Dirting. Both of those two drivers wanting to just make his life miserable as they attempt to close that gap and get themselves closer and closer to that lead position. These lead 3 cars have been in a class by themselves most of the night. They've had the likes of Ryan Strunk and Eric Kling joined them. Kenny Powell even briefly made himself an appearance up into the top 4. But for the most part, it's been these 3. Oh, just like that, we've got a car that's inverted upside down. I believe that is Kenny Thompson. What has happened to him? Oh, looks like Mr. Strunk was involved in that as well. Let's see what went wrong. Kenny Thompson gets discombobulated, comes right back up, right in the middle of the backstretch. Makes contact with not only Al Keselowski, but also Mr. Ron Strunk. And that's just going to be, oh, wow. That was just so unfortunate for all of those guys. Kenny Thompson, it was even one lap down, but now he's going to have to take a tow. And as a result, and then it's going to have to see where he ends up as a matter of that tow. But as you can see, what happens is that number 22 car just goes inverted and upside down. Wow. That is just never, ever any good. I'm going to hope that he's okay and able to continue this event. Well, if there was one person that did not want to see that caution, I guarantee you that is going to be the 62 car, Chris Rivera, because now he gets to do it all over again. But now with 5 to go, it gets just that much more interesting because I think we get one attempt at a green-white checker. So, which if everyone can stay off of each other for this start, that'll be awesome. But then immediately following that, if there will be another caution flag, that might make things just a little bit interesting. But hasn't it been a fun evening of racing? I mean, so far, we are just 5 to go, just under 5 to go, and we still have 8 cars on the lead lap. And when it comes to dirt track racing, I mean, we'll have 4 laps to go right now, but when it comes to dirt track racing, that's anybody's race. That is still anybody's race. Hope everybody that's tuning in here to us tonight is having a great weekend or the start of a great weekend. Hope everybody's lined up for a happy Easter. Want to just give a shout out again to all our sponsors, guys. They make it possible for us. The Tucson Sound Art guys, the Butt Kicker guys. That's a real big part of what we do. Also, I'd like to give a personal shout out to my main man Rob. As I find myself up in here alone tonight, I'm not really alone. Rob Melnick's behind the scenes, and he is definitely making me look a lot better than I am. It's can be a little nerve-wracking when you're just up there by yourself because it's like playing ping pong by yourself. You hit it and there's really nobody to hit it back. But speaking of hitting it back, the lights are off on the pace car, which means we are 1 to go, which means when this thing goes green, we'll be 2 to go. And if they can make it through 1 lap, then the next flag will end it. But one thing that you got to remember, there's still 8 cars on the lead lap. So this race could belong to any of those 8. As the pace car is down, Chris Rivera is going to once again take his green flag racing. Justin Levine's going to line his car up on the inside as he's going to try to get the move on Dirting, but Dirting, just going to lose it just a little bit, allowing Justin Levine a chance to slide down on the inside. Here he comes. Severa is holding it down, making sure that everything that he does is correct. Justin Levine now going to come and run, but here comes Dirting to the outside of him. He's going to slide on through. Chris Rivera needs to make it through one more set of turns in order to be our race winner here tonight. As Mr. Dirting is clearly gonna clear the 33 car, make his pass. That 33 car still sliding out there on him, not giving it up just yet. And he is going to yield. Oh, Dirting goes. Looks like that's it. Chris Rivera is gonna be our race winner here tonight. Wow. What an exciting race that we had here. That, ladies and gentlemen, was awesome. Let's look at our race results here. Officially, what we have, what the unofficial official results are. Chris Rivera taking that win. Brooks Dirting in second. Justin Levine bringing home third place. Ryan Strunk fourth. Eric Kling, fifth. Al Keselowski going to be in sixth. Kenny Powell, seventh. Gary Adamson, eighth. Kenny Thompson, ninth. Kyle Green rounds out our top 10. Paul Olsen finds himself some 11 laps down with Frank Flores, Robert Pattengill, Greg Wachowski, and John Mullins, rounding out our 15-car field. With that said, now, going to see if we can't dial up our, well, I guess we'll go ahead and go with our race winner. Do we got Chris Rivera? All right. Chris Rivera?
You know,
Hey, sir, how's it going? This is Big Al up here in the booth, man. Congratulations to you for your dirt track win. How does it feel?
it was a blast. There at the end, once everything's slicked off, that's probably one of the tracks I think is the most fun. Big shout out to Brooks and Justin for not making it, as boring as it was for the last race y'all had. But man, that was fun running with them like all night. It was probably honestly the best race I had all week, racing wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you when it seemed like it looked like Mr. Dirting was going to actually get the hat trick, here comes Chris Rivera, the spoiler, for the win. So that's definitely got to make you feel good, because now you're inching away a little bit further and further with that series lead. So let me ask you this question. With the dirt track being behind you now, and you can kind of get ready for Talladega, what are your thoughts going into next week?
Definitely got to find the car to work with. I know I can push, so I know that's big. I can pretty much work with any car, but finding the cars that are able to make the moves, we'll see about that when it comes down to Talladega. It's a lot different from the last time we were there in December. The builds have changed a lot, so we still got a lot of work to do to figure it all out. Still generally the same, but yeah, we'll see. It's a dice roll at the end of the day.
Man, awesome performance here tonight. Before I let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Gas and Go, Rain Energy, EPI setups for the car. You guys, as always, for putting it on this week. I know how you had to put the show fly solo today, so a little extra appreciation to you, sir. And yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, and congratulations to you, sir, for the win. And I can't wait to see you next week.
Thank you, man.
With that, we'll go to our second place finisher, Mr. Brooks Dirting. Mr. Dirting, you there?
I got you.
Wow. What a clinic that you were putting on here, qualified on the pole, won both the first two stages, and then looked there for a time that you were the car to beat. What happened?
I made a bad choice. I really thought the tires would pay off right there at the end when the track slicked off and pitted, and ended up having to run a little bit different line trying to get around Chris, and he did his job, and held his line and did what he had to do to keep me behind him the whole time.
Man, that was an awesome display of performance you put on. What do you credit that to this week?
All the guys at Frontline chipped in with this set this week, and we got it rolling pretty good. It won NIS this week earlier, and I just made a poor decision on pitting and trying to get behind.
Well, you know, still nothing sloppy. As like I said, you won the first two stages, just not the most important one, that third stage. But with this, anything that you can possibly salvage from this and kind of apply to next week as we get ready to return to the super speedway?
Oh, absolutely zero. Nothing goes over there. But we're already working on Adega stuff, so we're looking forward to it. We'll have some teammates in that one, I think, so we'll have something for them, I'm sure.
All right, so it sounds like you're pretty excited about that opportunity, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's always fun there.
Awesome. So before I let you go, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Just the guys at ISCA and you guys for hosting it or broadcasting it, and all the guys at Frontline, Abruzzi, and Racerwear, Teamwear. Without them, without you guys, we wouldn't be here.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you once again, and congratulations for your second place finish, sir. Have a great evening.
You too, guys.
And that is going to bring us to our third place finisher, none other than Mr. Justin Levine. Justin, this is Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
What's going on, Al?
Man, looks like you had your hands full as I was sitting there watching you wheel that car around. Got to be pretty happy with a third place finish, though, huh?
Definitely am. I'm not a dirt racer, so anything in the top three is definitely a check in my book.
So what are some of the things that you actually did this week that you could credit to your success?
I followed Brooks. Brooks is a great teammate, and he showed me his line, and little by little I started picking up on things that he was doing, and it worked out tonight too.
Man, that is awesome. So as we get ready to leave the dirt to head back into the super speedway race of next week, what are your thoughts or concerns about that going into Talladega?
I'm pretty excited to see how our second super speedway race is going to go. Daytona, it felt like as long as you had a teammate, you're able to control the race, and hopefully Brooks and I can link up and maybe have another teammate or two or a friend out there that can help control the race. But look, just trying to be out front and avoid the wrecks.
Well, good luck to you. And before I let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Shout out to you. You do such a great job on the broadcast. I always enjoy going back and watching the race. Shout out to Kenny. Appreciate everything he does for putting this on for us. Everyone at Frontline, especially Brooks. Brooks does all the work here. And Racer, Apparel, Abruzzi, and Checkered One.
Well, roger that, Mr. Levine. Thank you very much, and congratulations again to your third place finish. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in for tonight's Sugarland Distillers Company 125. I am your host, Al Nixon, with Rob Melnick down behind the scenes, flipping the slides in the scenes. Thank you again for joining in. Hope to see you next week for Talladega.